Today's Rangers news is pure box office. One target replaced before he's even signed, £6 million on the table for a potential Ibrox hero, Ianis Hagi told to pack his bags by his own teammate, and a Premier League veteran linked for a shock move to Glasgow. If you thought things were heating up at Ibrox, you've not seen anything yet. Want to see these and more explosive Rangers updates? Stay until the end. All right, let's dive into this transfer chain reaction that could actually do Rangers a massive favor. Relebohile Mofokeng, remember the name, the 20-year-old South African talent was linked with a move to Rangers previously, and now the door might just be opening again. Down in South Africa, the Orlando Pirates have gone and signed a player described as the next Relebohile Mofokeng. That's not me saying it. That's straight from their own scouting circles. Relebohile Mofokeng, that's the lad they've brought in. Same position, same style, same electric potential. You don't replace a player like for like unless you're expecting him to leave, do you? Let's not forget, Rangers need wingers desperately. With Rabbi Matondo plus Ross McCausland the only senior options, it's bare bones out wide. Ianis Hagi and Tom Lawrence might be off as well, with contracts winding down. Nadim Badrami could end up shoved out of position again, and you've seen how that's gone. Rangers haven't seriously invested in that area since Steven Gerrard left, and we're still suffering for it. Matondo's the only permanent winger signed in years, and that's not enough. If the 49ers takeover frees up a bit of spending power, going after Cerny and Seema is a no-brainer, but Mofokeng, that's the wild card, a real talent and now available. Would you go for Mofokeng this summer, or should Rangers be aiming for more established names in wide areas? Rangers are staring at one of the biggest no-brainer transfer decisions in years, and if the new board want to show they've got a clue, they better not bottle it. Scott Arfield has said it loud and clear, £6 million for Vaclav Cerny is a steal. Not a gamble, not a risk, a guarantee, and frankly, he's spot on. This isn't about potential, this isn't about hype. This is about one of the few players in the current squad who's actually delivered consistently when it matters. Cerny hasn't just looked decent in flashes, he's carried this team at times. 17 goals, 7 assists, and 3,600 minutes of graft across all competitions. And while others have gone hiding or crumbled under pressure, he's stood up and given the Rangers support something to shout about in a season that's tested every ounce of patience. So why is this even a conversation? We're being told Rangers are ready to splash £4.5 million on Oscar Cortez, a young lad with bags of potential, but currently injured. Cortez has talent, no doubt, but if the club is willing to invest that kind of money on a project player who's not even fit, how can they not justify £6 million for a proven weapon like Cerny? Let's not forget, Cerny isn't one of these loanees who takes a season to find their feet. He's already embedded himself into Ibrox. He knows the demands, he's handled the pressure, and he's actually enjoyed himself in Glasgow. A rare combo for foreign players in Scottish football. He's not flinched once. The supporters have taken to him, and he's repaid that faith with goals, assists, and a relentless work rate. The danger here? The 49ers enterprises are about to walk through the front door and make their mark. If their first major transfer move is letting Cerny return to Wolfsburg while throwing similar money at unproven, injured talent, it'll be a disastrous start to this so-called new era. Vaclav Cerny should be the first name through the door this summer, not just because he's earned it, but because Rangers cannot afford to keep letting real quality slip away. We've seen it too many times. You need spine, spark, and players who understand what it means to wear the badge. Would letting Cerny walk be the single dumbest decision Rangers could make this summer? Or do you think £6 million is too much to spend on someone who's been our top performer in a shambles of a season? Ianis Hagi, the flair player you waited seasons to finally see firing on all cylinders, might just have kicked his last ball at Ibrox. And who's putting that out in the open? None other than his former teammate, Scott Arfield. The same Scott Arfield who knows what it means to graft in midfield and what it takes to make a real impact in a Rangers shirt. Hagi's stats this season: 23 appearances, 4 goals, 5 assists. Not awful, but not enough. Not when you're trying to catch Celtic, not when you're chasing trophies, and definitely not when you've just watched another season go up in smoke with no domestic silverware and a Europa League exit still ringing in your ears. According to Arfield, as much as Hagi's got that undeniable technical talent, the type you can't teach, where he can strike or dribble off either foot like it's nothing, he just hasn't delivered consistently. And let's not sugarcoat it. For all the class, for all the vision, for all the silky touches, there's been far too little actual impact. Now, throw in that wage dispute at the start of the season, limited game time, and the fact his contract's winding down, and you've got yourself a parting that feels more like a matter of when, not if. Look, nobody's saying Hagi doesn't love the club. You saw that passion when he pulled one back against Aberdeen. But sentiment doesn't win you leagues. Grit, consistency, and game-changing performances do. And right now, Rangers don't have the luxury of holding on to players for what they could become. Not when Celtic are already out the gates miles ahead, counting their trophies. The rebuild this summer needs to be ruthless. There's no room for nostalgia or waiting on players to finally come good. Not anymore. Would letting Ianis Hagi go this summer be the right call, or is Rangers about to lose a player who'll come back to haunt us? With the 49ers takeover just about to cross the finish line and Kevin Thelwell already locked in to lead recruitment, we might just be seeing the early signs of a familiar face heading to Ibrox, former Wolves fullback Jonny Otto. Now look, this isn't a blockbuster name that'll get you rushing to the megastore for a new shirt, but let's not kid ourselves. Rangers have been painfully short in the fullback department. Ridvan Yilmaz has been in and out like a dodgy Wi-Fi signal, and Yefte flatters to deceive more often than not. Jonny Otto is 31, but you don't make over 100 appearances in the English Premier League and walk away without leaving a mark. This is a guy who's played against some of the best week in, week out, and now he's tearing it up for PAOK in Greece. Still going strong, still fit, still sharp. He's two-footed, he can slot in on either flank, and he's as composed under pressure as they come. For a free transfer, this screams smart business. Would you rather roll the dice on another unknown project or bring in someone who's been there, done it, and knows how to deal with pressure? Sure, there's no sell-on value, but not every signing's about future profit. Sometimes it's just about getting it right. If Thelwell's serious about raising the level and not just plugging holes, Otto could be the type of signing that steadies the ship. Rangers need experience, leadership, and players who won't shrink when the real games start. So tell me this, should Rangers be targeting winners like Otto, or is the focus better spent on building with younger, long-term prospects? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.